Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to cilinixfxcapital. Hope you're all doing great. Hope you're having a great week so far. Welcome to this new video on SUI. We're going to do a full update here on SUI. Now, a little bit of a disclaimer. I'm going to be fully realistic and honest about SUI, all right? So if you're interested in that type of content, we'll talk about the fundamentals, we'll talk about the technicals, consider subscribing, but some of you might not like that. So just a heads up, but just remember that everything I say is said with a reason and with solid arguments. And I personally hold SUI as well, right? So I'm just being realistic about the scenario right now, which ultimately isn't great, all right? And that's for multiple reasons. And we're going to do a full analysis, but let's just slowly roll into it. First of all, when we talk about the fundamentals, which is something I've kept a close eye on during since the Cetus hack, of course, the Cetus hack, the fundamentals have not been great, right? We had one spike in DEX trading volumes right here, the 30th of May, but since then they have dropped down to March levels, right? Which is incredibly bearish because these fundamentals were one of the key reasons why I think SUI actually got the rally it did. The fundamentals were a reason for whales and bigger investors to actually stand behind it and to see it as some sort of a potential replacement or at least a competitor to something like Solana, right? And right now it's not looking great. The TVL is down, the DEX trading volumes are down, the daily transactions are down, the daily active addresses are down. It's just bad news. So that's fundamentally that's not great, right? But then what I think is even more not worrying, but it's something that is very bearish, and this is as expected, right? If you watch my last video on Tuesday, this was the most likely scenario, and that was respecting the downtrends. I mean, you can see on the 4-hour time frame right here that we are now in a downtrend that is also being respected. And then if you go to the higher time frames here on the daily, we have also lost the uptrend, which is something other major coins such as Ethereum, Bitcoin, I mean, Solana has also lost it, but a lot of the majors have not lost the daily uptrend. A lot of altcoins as well. So that is a bad sign. Now, do I think ultimately, my apologies for the nose, by the way, it's a bit of allergy season. But do I think we're going to crash because of that? No, ultimately not. I mean, we're heading for a major support level right here with a 90-day rolling VWAP, the 0.618 FIB and 2.82 here. That's a very strong support level. I do not expect that level all of a sudden to break. Can we spike down lower? Certainly. We have done so in the past as well. But I do think we'll find support there. It's a high time frame support level. But the big question is then, well, do I see any reason from there to suspect a new uptrend? Or do I think we can actually hold that, consolidate, and get an uptrend from that consolidation? The second thing is a possibility, but for now, I'd say it's more likely, especially looking at the 12-hour time frame, that we are going to continue trending down. Now, that does not mean that we won't have any moves up. I mean, for example, today, Thursday, historically is actually quite good for SUI and for altcoins. So we can certainly do something like this, but to turn into a bullish structure again, we have to break above 3.4 and 3.45. And given the momentum that we have right now in combination with the fundamentals, I would not expect that. I think it's more likely we're going to reject then, and we're slowly going to move into $3, slowly into 2.9. From there, I do think we'll find support. And then from that support, we will see again. If we see some sort of rise, if we see a lot of volume, for example, while we are holding 2.85, 2.9, that's a great sign that we might actually see an uptrend afterwards from it. Or if we see some sort of a spike down, a reclaim with volume, that's a great sign as well. But we'll have to wait for that. And right now, given the way the technicals and the fundamentals look, I'd say it's more likely that with the short on the lower time frames, we can have some moves up as well. But I think ultimately the general direction is going to be down, and after that a consolidation, a range on the lower time frames. But those are my thoughts. I think that's what you need to know. Like I said, if you're interested in updates like this, consider subscribing. I try to cover SUI every other day, so that's if that's something you like, then welcome. But for now, thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your week, and bye.